guys, today I have what I think is a very exciting video for all of us because today we're going to be trying out and reviewing a new to me brand, and this is a brand that I've had my eyes on for, I want to say, quite some time because their palettes look beautiful. I don't know exactly why I haven't jumped on this, but I feel like I'm at a point right now where I'm always reviewing so many different brands, and I have so many brands that I feel very loyal to. A lot of brands send me PR all the time, and so it's just kind of hard to, fit in new brands, because knowing that now there's a new brand on my radar that I want to review everything from, it's just a lot. So I usually try to, unless it's a brand that some of my friends have reviewed and they give really good reviews, I haven't tried it yet, I don't really jump on it unless the brand reach out to me first, and that is what happened this time. And when they did, I was so happy because, like I said, I have had my eyes on this brand for quite some time, and that is Simply Posh. So they sent me 2 of their palettes, and we're going to be doing a look with each of them today. I've already filmed one look, so I have kind of formed my thoughts on that. So let me show you the palettes first, though, because this is the Berry Icy palette, and these are quite large palettes. And one of the nice things about these palettes is that these have magnetic pans. So if you are someone who have a big singles collection, you like singles, you like kind of building your own palettes, you can depot these, you can use them in custom palettes, which I think is amazing. So these are really, really nice for that. And I think the color stories on these palettes are so beautiful. There's also the Genuine Gems palette, which I just swatched these palettes, and I will say I feel like this palette swatched a lot better than the Berry Icy palette. And not knowing too much about the brand, I'm not sure which of these palettes came first, but I feel like the quality of this palette seems a little bit better than the quality on the other one, which this is the one that I have used. And I gotta say, I'm gonna show you the look right now that I've done with this palette, because I wanna tell you what my thoughts are so far before we get into doing the second look. So I feel like this is a formula that, you guys know, I've tried a lot of formulas, I've tried a lot of indie brands, and I feel like for the most part, I can kind of compare brands and be like, this formula reminds me of another brand. And I feel like I can't really say that. Like, I feel like Simply Posh has their own formula, which I think is amazing, because a lot of the time, different brands will use the same manufacturer depending on how they make their shadows. I don't know if these are handmade shadows. I should probably know that, but I feel like their formula is unique is what I'm trying to get at. And I think that the mattes are, at least in this palette, they are really nice. They're definitely on the buildable side. They don't have that kaboom pigment as soon as you put your brush on the eye, but they build so beautifully. They blend really, really well, and I feel like it's a very beginner-friendly, colorful formula. So I think if you're someone who's maybe a little bit scared of getting into colorful makeup, this would be a good brand to test out so far. And I also think that their shimmers are that really nice kind of shiny foil, but a little bit sheer formula that I personally really, really like. But I think that the special thing about these shimmers is that they're not as kind of emollient and creamy as some of the other brands. So they didn't crease on me at all, but they still looked really, really nice on the eyes. They're not as kind of wet looking as some of those other formula, but they still have that same quality that I'm looking for in my shimmers. There's a lot of duochromes in here, and I think that it's just a really, really nice, very user-friendly, like I said, very beginner-friendly formula. And I'm super excited to be digging into the Genuine Gems palette, because I feel like I said in the beginning of the video, I feel like this palette swatched a little bit better. These seemed like they had more pigment off the bat. It could also have something to do with just the colors, and I feel like, blues and purples and stuff like that can be a little bit harder to make, and you might not be able to get that same kind of pigment right away with these kind of shadows as you are with the warm tones. So we'll just kind of see, but I was so happy with the look that I did with this palette, and I was so impressed, and I'm so happy that I have these palettes in my hands, and I can't wait to do another look with the other palette, because I have very high expectations. I think I'm gonna have a great time, and I think that you guys are going to enjoy this brand. So far, obviously, we're gonna have to see how I feel about this palette when I'm done doing a look with it, but so far, I've just been super impressed, and I wish I could do more looks with these palettes, but I just got home from a week vacation with my husband, and that's probably, I'm sure you've noticed I haven't been posting a lot of videos, and then I was sick for like 2 weeks right beforehand, so I feel quite backed up, let's just put it that way. But I'm very happy to be back. I'm happy to be filming again. I'm happy to be feeling good again, and I feel like I'll be able to get back on a pretty regular posting schedule, which is going to be very nice, because like I said, I got a lot to catch up on, and if there's anything that you want to see me do stuff with first, I think this is the first video that's going up. Let me know. I've gotten a lot of stuff in PR. I have the new package from Ringlight with the Chucky and whatever that collection is. It's not really a collection that or a franchise, I should say, that I'm super familiar with, but if you want to see that, let me know. I also have the new Urban Decay palettes, which are like the 2 little smiley palettes, which are in their Naked line. Not super excited about them, but if you want to see something, let me know again. What else? I'm kind of trying to think what I haven't filmed with yet. That might be the only 2 like new palettes, but I'm sure I will have more coming anyway. Let's move into doing a look with this. So I don't know exactly what it is that I want to play with today because there are so many beautiful colors in here, but I'm thinking since I did mostly a cool tone look in my first look, I'll do mostly a warm tone look today. So maybe we'll play in kind of this area. Maybe I'll pull in like the green. That green is so beautiful. Like how can I pull in that green together with maybe this yellow? And I would also like to pull in like this purple as well. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. This might be a very colorful, all over the place look, but I'm also not too mad at that. I'm gonna start with the yellow. We're just gonna kind of see what happens. I just want to try a lot of these on my eyes, and if the look doesn't end up being super cohesive, then oh well. Because this is just what we're gonna do today. So I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my primer. And I'm just gonna put that in, I think the front portion of my crease. That is so pigmented. That is a really, really nice yellow. It's like a sunflower yellow. It's almost more of an orange yellow, but I love how pigmented that is going on. That is absolutely stunning. I'm using my Rephr 13 here, which is kind of a small, dense blending brush, so I am getting quite a bit of pigment onto my brush when I'm doing this. I'm gonna take this about halfway across my crease here, and then we'll see where I go from here, if I want to do the greens or the purples or the oranges. I feel like I have so many options. Let me know if you've tried this brand and how you feel about it, if you agree with me so far on the formula. I can feel again that it's going on very pigmented, but it's blending out super nicely, and I feel like whatever I put on top of here is going to build quite well too. So we'll see. I'm just gonna do the same on this side, and then I think I'm gonna go into either like a purple or maybe even one of the like magenta shades. Maybe that could be fun too. I'm gonna leave this here for now and kind of see where we end up. I think I'm gonna go into this shade, which is the shade called Ruby, and I'm just gonna put that right next to this color and then possibly deepen it up with the purple. I think that could be a good idea just to kind of see how a lot of these perform. Maybe I'll go in with the cooler tones on my lower lash line. We'll see what happens, but the more I'm using these, I feel like the formula is the same in both palettes. It's just that these swatch a little bit better than the others. If I had to compare these mattes to another brand, I would say that maybe these are a bit of a drier formula than Nomad or something like that. And I like Nomad's mattes, but they're not my absolute favorites because I feel like they can be a little bit too creamy, as maybe the wrong description, but sometimes I feel like they slide and slip a little bit too much, and like, yes, they blend themselves, but they also kind of like blend too far. Like, I don't even know if that makes any sense at all, if anyone can relate, but sometimes I feel that way about Nomad's mattes, and I feel like these are a little bit easier to maneuver and get them to kind of like do what it is that I want. But these are looking so good. I'd probably pull this up a little bit too high, but I think it's gonna be okay. I just need to not let this get really out of hand here, but I love these colors together. These are just like the perfect summer colors. So as you can see, I'm not really taking this underneath my eye at all. I'm only keeping it to the upper portion of my crease because I think I want to use the purple. There's a little bit of kick up in these pants, nothing that bothers me though. I'm gonna take this purple and I'm gonna use that as my deepening shade, and I think I'm also going to wrap it under my eye a little bit and then maybe use the green underneath my eye just because I really want to use it. And there is a beautiful shimmer in here that I also really want to use, so I'm just going to take my time here, see how buildable this purple is and see how opaque I'm able to get this. I didn't have any problems at all building in the first look that I did, and so far this is looking like it's going on really, really nice and opaquely and is blending super well into that transition shade as well. So I'm very impressed by the mattes from this brand so far. I'm having a blast with them, and I find them to just be at the end of the look. They don't really lose their intensity at all. They look very, very nice and rich and pigmented, and like I said, also they wore really well. So I'm just having a really good time with this brand so far, which makes me excited because I think their color stories are beautiful. The only thing I would say is that I feel like the palettes are a little bit bigger than what I normally go for, but then again, I love my Blend Bunny palettes and those are quite large, so I feel like I'm more open to bigger palettes these days just because of having discovered Blend Bunny and how much I love them and how just versatile they really are. And they're also really nice travel palettes, and I feel like this could also be a brand that is that for me, because so far I have had nothing but a good time with their mattes and their shimmers, and also the color stories are really nice. So just really having a good time with this so far. Like, this looks so good. You cannot tell me otherwise. Like, look how nice and opaque this purple is going on and how well it's blending. That just looks so nice. Taking the same shade on a small pencil brush, and I'm just gonna take that onto my lower lash line. I'm not gonna blow it out too much. I just wanna sort of connect the outer corner here. Oh, also when I was saying about the other things that I need to film with, I also have the new collection from Game Beauty. Let me know if you want to see something with that as well. I might be a little late to the game on that one now, but if there's still any interest and if it's still available, I should probably look that up. If it is still available, I can definitely make some content with it. If it's sold out and limited edition and not coming back, I probably won't, because like, what good is that gonna do unless you've already bought it? And if you already bought it, then you don't need reviews from me. So yeah, I'm gonna just feel it out and see if I want to do something with that. I kind of feel bad. I was fully intending to, but then, like I said, I got sick and I have to kind of prioritize the things that are relevant right now and that I can actually make helpful content about. So this looks really nice. I love this. I'm gonna take the green because there's something about the shade of green here that it's just screaming to me, so we're gonna use it. This is the shade called Emerald. I just wiped off my same brush and I'm just gonna put that basically on the rest of my lower lash line. I'm probably gonna layer a shimmer like over the top of it in my inner corner to lighten it up a little bit, but I just wanna see what the formula is like, and so far it's just going on so beautifully. Like, it's sticking on my lower lash line where I don't have a primer at all and it's looking super vibrant, so I really like this. I'm just blending it into the purple here, and I think that's all I'm gonna do with the matte shades. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. It's looking beautiful. I am going to use glitter primer with these shimmers, but I would say that they probably don't need it because I could tell when they were going on that this is definitely a kind of formula that you could easily just spray it as well and it would probably look exactly the same, but I just find that I get a better application when I first go in with the glitter primer and then I use the sticky side of my brush to pick up the shadow with. I find that I'm just able to pick up more on my brush, hence getting more onto my eyes, and it just looks a little bit more intense that way. So I'm gonna take the sticky side of this brush. I'm just using some of my NYX glitter primer, and I think I'm gonna use probably this purple and maybe this green. I think that could be kind of fun. I could use this one as well, which is really, really beautiful, but we're gonna start with this one, which is the shade called Luxurious, which is definitely the one that when I swatched it, I was like, ooh, I need to try that, because it just looked really, really nice and glittery. So we're gonna see, I'm gonna put that on. That's really pretty. I'm gonna put that on pretty much like the outer 2/3 of my lid or so, just kind of blend it into the matte purple shade that I have in the outer corner. So like I was saying, these are on the kind of sheer side, but they do build up to be nice and opaque if you don't like topper shades. But If you want them to be nice and opaque, I would recommend using them with a glitter primer or spraying your brush or maybe even your finger. Can't really tell you what a finger application would look like because I hate using my fingers to apply eyeshadows because I feel like I can just not be as precise as it is as I want. And I've just always been a brush person when it comes to my makeup. That goes for my face makeup too. Like I always use brushes with foundations and concealers, and I couldn't fathom using my hands to apply like my foundation with. Like it's just, I don't like it. I just don't like getting stuff on my hands and feeling all sticky. And I just don't feel like my application would be that much better if I did dirty my fingers to put on my makeup with. I'm perfectly okay with just using brushes, but look how pretty that is. Like that looks beautiful. Oh, I really like these shimmers. They're so pretty. They're maybe a little bit reminiscent of the Wouldn't Eye formula, but then again, not really, because I feel like these are smoother and like some of the, just drop my brush, I'm gonna find another one. Some of the Wouldn't Eye ones can be a little bit chunky. Not that I mind that, but I feel like these are just extremely smooth, very thin, but they look really nice on the eyes and I'm just really impressed. I'm gonna use this shade, which is the shade called Clarity. Just picking that up on a Rephr 21, which is what I was using before that I dropped on the floor. So I just had to get a new one. So I'm just gonna put that, like I said, basically on the rest of my lid. And I think that's gonna be the colors that I'm going to use for this look. But I really like the combination between green and purple. It's a color combo that I've always been a big fan of. And this might not like go that well together, but honestly I don't really care because I just wanted to test out a lot of these shades, but I think this works. Like I like this look a lot. I'm gonna take some of this green as well and just wrap it under my eye so that I can layer a little bit of that just over the top of the green that I have on my lower lash line, and I'll probably do some kind of an inner corner highlight. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up with this look because this is pretty much all I'm going to do with the shadows. So this is the final look, and to finish off I'm using the Unicorn Cosmetics lashes in the style Dreamer. I'm pretty sure I took them out of the carton because I brought them traveling and now I'm like questioning myself, but I think that is what they are. But I really like this look. I think it turned out so beautiful. I can't stop staring at these eyeshadows because they perform so well. And I'm just really impressed. I'm really impressed with this brand in general, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. They don't currently have affiliate codes, but I know that they're having a 15% sale on both of these palettes as we speak, I'm pretty sure. So if you're interested, you can definitely get a little discount on the palettes if you want to pick them up, but I think they're beautiful. It's hard for me to pick a favorite because I feel like it's gonna depend on my mood, like what I sort of go for. But I do like that there are some greens and purples in both of these palettes and blues as well because I love that color combination, and I like that there are some neutrals down here in this palette. So I am just super impressed. I'm excited to see what they do next. I wonder if they're going to keep with the same format and the same size palettes. I really enjoy these, but I would also like to see them do something maybe a little bit smaller as well. But whatever they end up doing, I am definitely going to be testing out their new palette because so far I've had a blast. Let me know if you tried this brand. I would love to hear what your experience is. And if you have tried this brand, which other brands would you compare the formulas to? Because like I said in the beginning, I have a hard time finding like anything that is exactly the same or like very, very similar to sort of give you an idea of like what to expect with these, because I feel like they're just a little bit different and you know, their own little thing, and I like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other indie brand reviews, I do have a playlist. I'll put that right there. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.